Test, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a play down the wing. It's maybe a chance on goal. It's a strike. A big welcome to beautiful Lakeside Stadium on a frankly glorious winter's day here in Melbourne for South Melbourne FC taking on Alamein FC in round 7 of the NPLW Victoria. I'm Josh Parrish, here with you on the broadcast today, and the big news is a big signing, both literally and figuratively. Jenna McCormick, the towering Matildas defender, is the new player in South Melbourne's lineup, and she slots into the heart of defence, wearing the number 18. Huge pedigree and should dominate at this level, keeping her match fitness up in her quest to be part of the Matildas Olympic squad. We'll go through the rest of the South Melbourne lineup. As best as I can make out, they've only picked 3 natural defenders, so it may well be a back 3 of Jenna McCormick, number 18, number 2, Sophie Papatsanis, and number 5, Amy Medwin. Melissa Barbieri starts between the sticks, as she has done for so long here at Lakeside. A storied career she's had. On the right, Jana Lawson, number 4. On the left, number 8, Sophia Sakalis in midfield. New Japanese import, number 14, Riona Omiya, plays the holding role. Number 9, Lucy Johnson, and number 10, Natalie Martineu, the captain, round out the midfield trio. Number 20, Caitlin Pickett, and number 23, W-League star Melina Ayres, round out a star-studded lineup here for South Melbourne today. Alamein certainly up against it when you look at the talent on the field. And just looking to where South are lining up, seem to be a few players playing outside of their natural positions. Looks as if Jana Lawson, who's usually a midfielder, is playing in central defence. No, in fact, Amy Medwin looks like she's playing in central defence, I should say. It looks like Natalie Martineo might be playing right back. Interesting stuff here from Sam Young. The South Melbourne head coach has really mixed it up today. Alamein, meanwhile, are a little more predictable in their 4-3-3 setup, but that doesn't make them any less effective. Number 1, Bethany Mason-Jones is between the sticks. Across the back 4, number 11, Hayley Richmond. Number 4, Rachel Binning. Number 6, Mia Lantieri-Bartley. And number 2, Jamila Hull. So we kick off here at Lakeside. Intercepted by Jenna McCormick, getting her first touches in a South Melbourne jersey. Just so exciting to see her here in the NPL. That's an offside flag up against number 14, Jennifer Lum. So it's Jamila Hull at left back, number 2. Adeline Ayton plays the holding role in midfield, number 5. Number 14, Jennifer Lum, and number 16, the captain, Emma Runnels, round out the midfield with the front three of number 12, Annabelle Haffenden, number 19, Caitlin Story, and number 99, Katrina Nickpaw. Here's Medwin. Definitely playing a back four today, South. Try and get a handle on the game plan. It's Ayton wins that one for Alamein. They do like to press high up the pitch. It's a core part of their game plan and how they generate chances. As Runnels felt she was fouled but didn't get the call. Barbieri goes long. South Melbourne attacker can't get there. Martineo with the interception. Here's Johnson. Sakalis. Now Jana Lawson. The right-hand side. Didn't really have any teammates on the same wavelength as her. Best we can make out. Does look like 4-4-2 today for South Melbourne. Melina Ayres starting up front. Looks like Caitlin Pickett, who's usually a striker, is on the left wing. Lucy Johnson is in midfield with Sakalis, it looks like. I'll continue to puzzle out this South Melbourne formation through the opening minutes as McCormick goes to Medwin. Into the feet of Pickett, but she has her pocket picked. And now Nickpaw on the ball. Sliding in. Winging off the football to avoid a foul. It's an Alamein throw. Runnels. South Melbourne get it clear up the line. Ayres looking to get it going very quickly now. Excellent work by Pickett. She charges down the left. Here's Ayres again with the early cross. That's deflected, and it's a simple one for Mason Jones. Here's Nickpaw for Alamein. Trying to build something in the opening minutes. It's over the top, but Barbieri will gather easily. McCormack trying the searching ball out to Ayres, who's ducked out to the left-hand side temporarily. Didn't come off that time. She manages to pick out Martineo. Nickpaw. Ball inside for Alamein. It's Lum. It's a long-range shot from Haffenden. Really off balance and got underneath that one. First sider of the game goes to Alamein. Really lovely place to be on a Saturday afternoon, Lakeside Stadium. The palm trees in the background. When the weather's like this, why wouldn't you come down and watch some football? Here's McCormick. Martineo. Medwin goes to Ayres. He flicks it over the top. And it might be a dicey one here for Mason Jones. Pickett trying to get a shot away. She goes for the pass instead to Sakalis, who was caught on the ball, and a glorious chance for South Melbourne goes begging. But Bethany Mason-Jones will be breathing sighs of relief after her blunder went unpunished. It's completely misjudged the flight of the ball. It can get quite breezy here at Lakeside. Not too blustery today, so don't think we can blame the conditions. Here's Martineu. Lawson. Lantieri Bartley puts it out of play for just the throw. Lawson's long throw looking for Sakalis. It was Rachel Binning who headed that one behind. And McCormick is forward off the set piece. Wouldn't she love to open her South Melbourne account on debut? Ayres in there as well. Always a fierce competitor for the 50-50 balls. Instead, it's played short. Martineo to swing it in. Not quite enough power on the cross, and it's headed away by Runnels. And now it's coughed up. And Alamein might be away. Crucial intervention there by Riona Omia. It was Medwin who made the blunder. And Amia who saved her blushes in transition. Hull. Nick Paw's pass intercepted by McCormick, but she does enough to close down the turnover. Hull on the overlap. Couldn't quite get there for Jennifer Lum's pass. Often seen in midfield, Jennifer Lum, but she's playing up front today. Lantieri Bartley turns it over. Lawson couldn't keep it though. Story goes down, no free kick. And it's back with Jana Lawson. Crucial intervention, I think, by Haffenden there. Lum with the interception. Now Hull. Trying to go early. And Lawson went too early. She's offside. We're not talking so much about South Melbourne's formation and unorthodox selections in certain positions. Neglected to notice that Alamein have gone for a back three today. Kat Smith mixing things up. So Jamila Hull's playing at one wing back. Looks like Haffenden on the other side. Tactical wrinkle to try and stifle the league leaders at home. Nick Paul. Part of a front two with Lum today. Runnels. Such a box-to-box presence. She's won a lot of balls today. Her passing range has been a little off. No questioning the effort she puts in week to week, Emma Runnels. Now South getting themselves into a mess by their own corner flag, but Nickpaw gets no reward for her defensive work, and it's a goal kick. Medwin going long and direct, and South Melbourne are in behind the high line. But the release was off from Pickett. Runnels trying to play an early ball of her own, but Medwin was in the way. Both sides trying to get their defensive line pretty high up the park, and on a big pitch like Lakeside, that ball in behind is a very dangerous option. Lawson. McCormick's long ball looking for Ayres. Rachel Binning read it perfectly. Hull for Lum. Nice one-touch stuff from Story, but no one running onto that ball. Lantieri Bartley going inside and playing into a congested area there. O'Meara. Deflection on the pass, but South still alive on this attack, and Lantieri Bartley is forced into a hurried clearance. Did well to prevent the corner kick there. McCormick. South throw again. Martineo now on the switch. Ball into space for Lawson to chase. She's got plenty of time here, Jana Lawson. Back to Martineo. First time cross was askew. It was Jamila Hull that did enough there to put her off. Medwin's throw. Hull's intervention. Martineo up for the header. Story with a header of her own, but it's straight to McCormick. Now Johnson for South Melbourne, who's collected after she released that ball. Advantage paid, but that one won't tickle. Late challenge coming in from Emma Runnels, and we'll wait and see whether the referee deems that worthy of further sanction. Meanwhile, it's Alamein who've won it back. Lum trying to play in Katrina Nickpaw. And McCormick with a rusty-looking pass. Free kick given away by Alamein. It was Caitlin Story with an inadvertent but nevertheless illegal high arm. was Johnson who copped the brunt of that. Hoofed forward by Emma Runnels. Really intense forward press from Alamein, and they might get a reward here from Story. Great save, Barbieri. Well struck long-range effort. And it's the hard work of that Alamein front line that caused the turnover. Melissa Barbieri called into action at the 17-minute mark. The veteran goalkeeper, 41 years young, showing she's still got the athleticism in her locker. Jamila Hull with the corner. It's into the danger zone. Barbieri barely got fingertips on it. I think the header came from Johnson. Determined run from Lawson, but she gives it up eventually. And Papatsanis can't keep the ball in play. Errant header from Nick Poor, who's less than impressed with her teammates' lack of a supporting run. Papatsanis caught short. And now Adeline Ayton tries to find a teammate and does. Alamein with the cross into the danger zone. Here's Hull. Attack still alive here. Story for Hull in low, and Jenna McCormick is in the way. Here's Sophia Sakalis, who's sandwiched there. Free kick for South Melbourne. Story with a heavy challenge. Into the feet of Melina Ayres. She was being held. Referee tried to play advantage, but defender had her arms around her before the ball arrived. And it could be shooting range here. It is indeed. It's a powerful strike. Too powerful in the end, over the crossbar. Very well struck from Lucy Johnson. Runnels with a nice touch. Possession doesn't last long though. Samir gets it back from Pickett. Another thundering challenge from Runnels. Omia. Melina Ayres trying to play that one quickly. It's too heavy for Jana Lawson. Jamila Hull thumping that one across field as much to keep it from going out for a throw as anything. Medwin's long ball looking for Pickett on the left-hand side, and Mason Jones has come again and missed the ball again. But still Alamein survive. Well, Caitlin Pickett on that left-hand side has been South's primary outlet, and here she is again. Headed away. Omia. Sakalis with the outside of the boot, a shanked clearance. And Jamila Hull plays it no nonsense. Really looking to get behind Hayley Richmond on that far side. Seems to be something South Melbourne have identified pre-game. McCormick intercepting the long ball from the opposition goalkeeper, and now Sakalis. Didn't quite put enough weight on that, but Melina Ayres ran into a cul-de-sac. She's still got it, Melina Ayres. Well, she's nothing if not persistent. Here's Lawson. Trying to create some room against Jamila Hull. They end up in a heap. She's a tough player to evade. Alamein's number 2. Sakalis with the corner. Now she's stuck in the corner, Sophia Sakalis. Last touch of the South Melbourne playmaker. Adeline Aiton's clearance was skywards, and now Sakalis on the half volley. It was well struck. Certainly had Mason Jones thinking twice. About a metre or so wide of the far post. At least in terms of their shots, that's the closest South Melbourne have come to a goal. a couple of hairy moments where Mason Jones has been caught off her line. But I don't believe South have managed a convincing shot on target just yet. Sakala's trying to change all that. Through ball played too early for Lawson to get there. Alamein with a delicately weighted chip over the top, and now Nick Paw with the cross that turned into a shot. It was very comfortable for Melissa Barbieri. Jennifer Lum was arriving in the middle if Nick Paw had been able to more effectively wrap her left foot around that. Certainly a tough ask on your weaker side. It's Jamila Hull to take this set piece for Alamein. It's well struck in swinger. It's dangerous. But it never quite threatened Melissa Barbieri's goal. Emma Runnels was certainly arriving with intent. Johnson completely miscued off the left boot. Haffenden's throw. Now Lum. Lovely jink between two South players. She goes down, and it's a penalty. A glorious run from Jennifer Lum. Outfoxed three South Melbourne defenders. And it's a spot kick for the visitors here at Lakeside. It's Riona Amir, the Japanese import, who's at fault there, just clipping Jennifer Lum's heels. It looks like it's going to be Story to step up. Caitlin Story from 12 yards. Melissa Barbieri in her way. And it's 1-0. Barbieri came oh so close with the trailing leg to keeping it out of the net. But it does go over the line, and Caitlin Story celebrates with her teammates as they take a 1-0 lead against the league leaders. You can't say they haven't deserved it based on the balance of play. But some individual magic from Jennifer Lum to win the spot kick in the first place is the difference between these two teams. As we hit the half-hour mark, potential upset on the cards. It's threaded through by Pickett. Here's Papatsanis. South corner. Can they muster an immediate response? In fact, it looks like it's going to be a goal kick. Referee's changed his mind. Much to the amazement of Natalie Martineo, it must be said. But South win it back from that goal kick straight away anyway. Here's Nick Paul. McCormick's touch was heavy there. Adel and Aiton able to come in with the well-timed challenge. Long throw taken by Lawson. Good defensive work from Rachel Binning. Sakalis with a deep corner. Mason Jones went up and collided with the teammate. Nice touch from McCormick, but she ran out of room. South Melbourne really need to get Melina Ayres more involved, and looks like she's dropped a little deeper here to try and do just that. The star-studded lineup has not performed to their immense potential against a very well-drilled Alamein side. We've sprung a tactical surprise or two. Kat Smith, one of the best up-and-coming young coaches in the women's game, would surely consider this a major scalp if Alamein can pull this off. Long way to go, of course. And it won't help with touches like that, but Pickett makes a terrible choice. She had Johnson and Lawson even free on the near side here, but didn't realise the time she had. Amir. McCormick now. Spraying a nice diagonal to an onside Lawson. Now Sakalis trying to thread a gap, but it was far too heavy for Lucy Johnson to have a chance. Bit of positional rotation, a reshuffle going on for South here. Johnson's gone up front. Sakalis dropping a little deeper. Same with Ayres, who intercepts that ball. It was an inventive manoeuvre to try and scoop that ball in between defenders, but it didn't quite come off, and despite her persistence there, she can't win the ball back. Thoroughly outnumbered, but that's never fazed Melina Ayres. McCormick was caught by Nick Paul. Didn't look best pleased about it either. And that one evades Haffenden. But she recovers well. And read Pickett's check inside like an open book. Sakalis looking for McCormick. It's too far for her, but Lucy Johnson collects it on the half volley. Always a tough ask from that kind of range at that sort of angle. But she's not afraid to have a go from distance, Lucy Johnson. Hayton. There's an Alamein player down injured at the moment. Staggering to her feet is a stricken Emma Runnels. That would be a very damaging loss if Emma Runnels is unable to continue here. She's down on her haunches. Meanwhile, the South attack goes on against 10 opposition players. Can they make the numerical advantage count? It's Lawson. Crossed into the back post area where she could have had a shot. Now it's finally out of play and we'll get a stoppage. Well, Emma Runnels doesn't go down unless she is really injured. So this doesn't bode too well for the Alamein captain. Not known to exaggerate. She will continue for the time being, albeit with a bit of a limp. Referee forcing her to wait for he's okay to return to the field of play. Pickett, back for McCormick. Now Omia trying to make up for her error that gave the penalty away. She's made a great run through. Riona Omia! A beautiful goal from South Melbourne. They've been disjointed all afternoon, but with one magic passage of one-touch play, they find a way through this sturdy Alamein rearguard, and Riona Omia goes from villain to hero. 1-1. A really lovely piece of play. A shimmy to take her marker out of the equation and leave them on the deck. Before she played it into the feet of her centre forward. Then it was back with Sakalis. A perfectly weighted through ball. And Omia with the delicate finish. Sliding the ball past the on-rushing Mason Jones as if she wasn't there. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. South Melbourne, after falling behind to a shock Alamein opener, have regained their composure. And the league leaders will be happy enough after that if they go in level. Especially considering how the opening 25 minutes or so went for them. Pickett's header off the Mason Jones clearance. Couldn't find a teammate. Melina Ayres putting some pressure on. Will there be a sting in the tail here? Alamein through with Jennifer Lum. But Jenna McCormick showing her wealth of experience to snuff out that attack. Hull with a great delivery again. No one on the end of it. She's got quite a left foot. Every single corner has been right on the money on the edge of the 6-yard box. Good height and pace on those deliveries as well. So it's only a matter of time if South keep giving away corners. Amir with a fantastic ball to find Lawson. Here's Hull. Flag from the assistant referee, but the central official has overruled her. Controversial moment, and that one's offside. South Melbourne will not be best pleased by that. Delano signalling for a handball against Jamila Hull, and the referee waving it off. Every referee interprets the game differently. It's not surprised you get the occasional difference of opinion between members of the officiating team. Persistence from the Alamein midfield. That was Emma Runnels. And now an Alamein free kick. Hull across from left back to take it. I guess left wing back, I should say, today. Great delivery again. South get ahead on it. Story. And that's the last action of the first half here at Lakeside Stadium, where Alamein have come to play. Despite the difference in experience, resources, and points between these two teams. They did take a lead, Alamein. Fantastic individual run from Jennifer Lum to win the penalty. And then Caitlin Story putting it straight down the middle. A trailing leg from Melissa Barbieri almost kept the spot kick out, but he hit the roof of the net, and Alamein took a shock lead. However, after conceding the spot kick, Riona Amir went from villain to hero, starting and finishing a terrific passing move before slotting past the onrushing Bethany Mason-Jones to make it 1-1. Game on here at halftime. This one is far from over. Can the league leaders come from behind to secure the victory, or will we have an upset on the cards? Find out after the break. The chill is starting to set in here at Lakeside Stadium, Melbourne South. But this game is only heating up. Really tense first half. Alamein have come to play today. They've selected a formation exclusively to counter South Melbourne. So far it's worked a treat against the league leaders. Here's Katrina Nickpaw looking for Lum. Jennifer Lum, one of the outstanding contributors in the first half. Her magnificent individual run, jinking past 3 South Melbourne defenders, one Alamein a spot kick, conceded by Riona Amir and converted by Caitlin Story. But South Melbourne did muster a response. They were disappointing for the majority of the opening 45. One play in particular did come off a treat. Succession of 1 and 2 touch passes, started by Amir and finished by the Japanese deep-lying playmaker. She ran in behind the defence to get on the end of the passing sequence that began with her jinking past her marker. And her finish was delicate, cool and calm. Slid underneath the on-rushing Bethany Mason-Jones to make it 1-1. So delicately poised here in the second 45. South Melbourne's headline acquisition of Jenna McCormick, though she personally has played pretty well in the heart of that defence, hasn't resulted in the sort of dominance that South might have expected. So many players with W League experience, a current Matilda, a couple of Melbourne Victory Championship winners, Melina Ayres integral to that title win. But in NPLW Victoria, at least in this game, the footing is very, very even. Here is McCormick on her South Melbourne debut. Collected Jenny Lum with a stray arm. Alamein physio ran all the way across and wasn't needed. But Lum still nursing a sore chin. Here's Haffenden for Runnels, whose captain's armband seems to have disappeared at some point during the first half when she was off injured. Headed away by Lantieri Bartley. Lawson. Adeline Ayton sliding in. Playing that important screening role today in front of the Alamein back three. Johnson running down the line, looking for the throw, which goes in her direction, but doesn't make it far enough. Jenny Lum's been in the wars. She copped that one in the face and keeps running pretty nonchalantly. Here's Sakalis, who's fouled by Ayton's challenge. Lucy Johnson had a crack from a fair way out in the first half. That wall will be moved back considerably, but only on the insistence of the referee. 5 players in this wall, so they know the threat that Johnson can pose from this sort of range. Mason Jones in the middle of the goal. She wasn't needed. I wondered whether, just based on the positioning of the goalkeeper there, Johnson might have been tempted to go the other side. Instead it flies over the crossbar. So for South Melbourne today, I think you describe it as a 4-1-3-2. Captain Natalie Martineau playing in an unorthodox right-back role. She has played there before, but not her preferred position. Barbieri giving her defence a few headaches there with some really hesitant play by both her and her defenders, in fairness. His Story. Couldn't get there. Lum goes back out to her left-sided centre half, who picks out Runnels, who has a shot from range, but it's a tame one and straight at Melissa Barbieri with the aid of a slight deflection. Richmond now, taking that one down in her chest. McCormick collected late by Story. Here's the Alamein captain, using her body well to hold up the play. Annabelle Haffenden goes long. And Lum skipping in ahead of Amy Medwin. Chance on here for Alamein. Hull was arriving. It's Story. Big chance. Just leant back and got that one all wrong. Caitlin Story. Massive scoring opportunity. It just fell to her so invitingly, albeit on her weaker foot. She would have expected to do better from that kind of position, I suspect. McCormick going on another adventure from centre half and picking up some contact that the referee again waves away. Here's Caitlin Pickett. 2 goals for her so far this season. South's top scorers are Lucy Johnson and Melina Ayres with 5 each. 3 for Sophia Sakalis. Here is Sakalis. Lawson. Papatsanis. Pickett around the corner first time. And a promising break on here for South, but good defending at the near post. Caitlin Story tracking back. Was Jana Lawson running right across the pitch from her nominal right wing position and getting involved in an overlap on the left-hand side. Lung-busting stuff from the number 4. Amir. Sakalis. Amia. It's Pickett. It's Ayres. It's a brilliant finish, but she's offside. She's barely had a sniff today, Melina Ayres. That one came to her so quickly. A snapshot ricochet was really a shot from Caitlin Pickett. She took it on the thigh immaculately. Incredible first touch. In off the post on the second. Lightning fast. But she was a couple of yards the wrong side of the last defender, so that one won't count. However impressive it looked. Here's Haffenden making an interception and playing in Lum, who's always dangerous when she runs with the ball. She goes back to Runnels instead. And gets it back, Jennifer Lum. It's a great cross. But the towering frame of Jenna McCormick was in the way. And a speculative long-range shot means the move ends in frustration and disappointment after a really promising opening. And like most of their opportunities today, it came off a really eager high press. Annabelle Haffenden, the player making the interception that time. Martineo. Johnson, who switched positions a little bit during the game. Started off in central midfield, has gone up front, then back into midfield. Been a fair bit of rotation. The normal front three. Ayres. Good ball. But Jamila Hull with impressive flexibility to intercept that crossfield pass. And she picks Jenna McCormick's pocket as well. Here's Nick Paul. Goes over the top. For Lum, who sends Medwin the wrong way. But Amy Medwin just got enough of a deflection on that shot to take the sting out of it. Looked as if Jennifer Lum was about to run clean through on goal. Such is her agility on the ball. Sends defenders for a hot dog. Here's Ayres trying to keep it in. It's a firm strike on the half volley. But Bethany Mason-Jones caught it and caught it well. Martineo. 58 minutes played here in Albert Park. Haffenden. Amy Medwin doing enough to win the throw. Papatsanis. Omia under a bit of pressure from Lum, but she shows her class. Papatsanis with a good ball over the top here. And she fancied her chances, did Lucy Johnson. It was a good effort, but never really looked in danger of rippling the back of the net with Mason-Jones positioned well. For a player like Lucy Johnson, it's hard to resist striking at goal when the ball bounces so invitingly on the half volley. Jana Lawson for South Melbourne now. The home side beginning to press home their advantage, beginning to turn the screws here. after a really disjointed first half performance. Sakalis. Mason Jones has dropped it. She manages to gather in a crowd of bodies. Story. Richmond out to Haffenden. Plays the crossfield ball, but Papatsanis is in the way. Haffenden ran into a traffic jam. Amir with a glorious ball off the outside of her left boot. Lawson into the danger zone. But Mason Jones off her line and gathers that one on the edge of the 6-yard box. Save she had to make with Lucy Johnson lurking. Just popping up everywhere now, Lucy Johnson. Martineu goes direct. And here's Melina Ayres. Mason Jones gambled. She did well. The sweeper keeping pays off. Here's Ayres. Never got a hold of that one. Mason Jones did. Rather easily in the end. This high line that Alamein are playing, it's inviting South to play balls in behind and forcing Bethany Mason Jones off her line early time and time again. She had a couple of really close cut moments in the first half where she missed the ball, but in the second 45 she's judged it well so far. Here's Jamila Hull for Alamein. Beats the challenge of Martineu and strikes on goal herself. And it flashes across the face. And Melissa Barbieri never looked too concerned. Medwin. Good pass. And nicely done by Amir. Offside against Pickett. That was classy stuff from South. Playing out from the back under pressure. It's what they need more of. A bit of calmness and willingness to play to the feet of their midfielders, even if there are players closing down. Amir certainly has the quality to just dish it first time and find a teammate, and Sakalis was only too willing to help it on. If Caitlin Pickett had been onside, that manoeuvre might have gone all the way from back to front. Hayley Richmond goes over the top. Runnels looking for Nick Poor, but was out of her reach. Martineu won it back for Jana Lawson. Now Riona Amir again, who's really starting to exert her influence over this game, and that's another glorious switch. And Pickett might be in here for South. They've turned it around. They've come to play here in this second half. What a ball from Riona Amir, and Caitlin Pickett buries it in the back of the net. The league leaders flex their muscle. 2-1 to South Melbourne. It all started with Natalie Martineu winning that ball back. Jana Lawson checked inside, and the entire Alamein midfield, as well as the right wing back Haffenden, completely caught up the field in transition. A fantastic find from Riona Amir. As the changes come in now from Alamein. But Caitlin Pickett was cool under pressure. And found the back of the net with consummate ease. Cici Paraskevas coming on. Katrina Nickpaw replaced. Get confirmation of that other change for you in a moment. Melina Ayres for Sakalis. No corner for South. Despite the protests of Barbieri, who felt she could tell all the way back in the other box that one took a deflection. Apparently not. So Betty Michael has come on, and Hayley Richmond has been withdrawn for Alamein. See if that spells a change in formation now. The midfielder on for a defender. And a winger on for a striker, so we might be back to a 4-3-3. We'll see in a moment whether they've decided to stick with this 3-5-2 shape. Lots of players making different runs, so it's difficult to tell at the moment. It's a poor ball from Johnson. It's looking like 4-3-3 now to me. Jenny Lum is up top on the right. Meanwhile, it's Runnels winning the ball back and taking all South defenders on herself. It was a firm shot. Melissa Barbieri saved it and held it so well. Such quality and experience between the sticks. The former Matilda's goalkeeper making it look easy when it really wasn't. Story missed it. Amir played it forward, but Adeline Ayton making the intervention. Lantieri Bartley. Couldn't find Jenny Lum. In fact, it looks like Jamila Hull's gone to the left of a back three. That one's beaten Rachel Binning, but Mason Jones was there to sweep up ahead of Melina Ayres. Yeah, it looks as if Cicely Paraskevas has gone to left wing back. Jamila Hull to the left-hand side of the back three. Haffenden. Wrestling with Papatsanis and winning the throw. Caitlin Story trying to turn her defender. Now a change for South Melbourne. coming off. Number 20, Caitlin Pickett. Scorer of South's second goal that put them in front. Sophia Sakalis, number 8, replaced as well. Coming on, number 11, Catherine Goff. And number 16, Zoe Horatzis. And the substitute has coughed it up immediately, and it's danger here. Alamein really should have made her pay. A real blunder from Zoe Horatzis. It's her first touch of the ball. She nearly coughed up a goal. Now McCormick is penalised for the late challenge. Long throw taken by Haffenden, flicked on. And Zoe Horatzis, rather than putting that one behind for a corner kick, tried to backheel it. Got herself and her team in all sorts of trouble. Now Alamein have a great chance. Jenna McCormick booked amidst all that. It's a brilliant position for a free kick. Its two contenders are Runnels and Hull. Will be the right boot of Runnels. And it's over the crossbar. Trying to go for that near side, past the wall rather than over it, but couldn't pick out the top corner like she was hoping. Real shame Emma Runnels couldn't test Melissa Barbieri there. So Horatzis has gone to centre back. Amy Medwin out to her natural left fullback role. It's a straight swap on the left-hand side. Catherine Goff coming in for the goal scorer, Caitlin Pickett. Medwin. Lum. Runnels now. Battle of the two most physically imposing players in the pitch. And Jenna McCormick, perhaps unsurprisingly, comes out on top. Aiton. The onus on Alamein now with 16 minutes to play in regulation. South have come from behind here. It hasn't been easy for them. Not straightforward at all. Against nominally mid-table opposition. Amir. Medwin. Galloping forward and relishing her chance to join the attack. Plays it out to Jana Lawson. Back with the substitute Goff. Omir. Haratzis for McCormick. Now Martineu trying to find a bit of space, and she does check past her marker. Cross deflected. And it's Johnson with the long-range effort. In fact, pardon me, Natalie Martineu has actually moved inside to a midfield role. Papatsanis and Lawson, the two players on the right flank for South now. And a third and final change for Alamein. So coming on, well, coming off is the captain, Emma Runnels. And this is quite the story, actually. Coming on, number 8, Nia Stamatopoulos. Her senior debut. A really promising young player. As Johnson runs through for maybe South's third. Out of nothing. A horrendous turnover from Alamein. And South are surely home and dry now. Melina Ayres with the perfectly timed through ball, and Lucy Johnson buries it in the bottom corner to give South Melbourne a comfortable cushion at the top of the league. It's South Melbourne 3, Alamein FC 1. As I was saying before that goal went in, Nia Stamatopoulos has had 2 serious injuries and 2 surgeries on her road back to full fitness. She's finally getting to play some senior football, which is fantastic to see. Jamila Hull heads away and it drops to Natalie Martineau. Binning involved in the defensive work and they scramble it away, Alamein. It's Papatsanis. Martineau. Omia. Medwin. Goff played it to Medwin, who spun gracefully around her marker. Mia Lantieri-Bartley conceding the free kick. And having won the free kick, Amy Medwin will step up and take it. Finds its way all the way through to the back post. It's Jana Lawson for McCormick. Almost a debut goal. But Mason Jones just about stopped it, squeaking through her legs. And in for a fourth. What a story that would have been. The centre-back up for the set piece. And looking to make an impression on NPLW Victoria in her first game. Medwin. Goff. That's surely a handball. Apparently not. On we go. Amir. Johnson to strike from range. That's about a fourth or fifth shot of the late afternoon. Hasn't tested Mason Jones from outside the box. Though she has, of course, scored from inside. Game starting to get a little stretched as we enter the final 10 minutes at Lakeside. South seem to have broken the Alamein resistance. After going a goal down in the first 45, they've worked their way back and have showed what they're all about in this second half. Really uncharacteristically poor in the opening stanza. They've moved the ball really well, and as the confidence grows, so does the speed at which they're shifting the ball left to right and threatening the Alamein defence. Jamila Hull keeping up her end of the bargain for the visitors, pursuing Jana Lawson all the way to the byline there. Stamatopoulos. Haffenden. Good ball from Stamatopoulos. And her long-awaited return from injury. Haffenden couldn't get past Medwin, who's really looked a different player since she's gone back into her natural left fullback role. So confident in that position. Playing at a completely different speed. All the hesitancy and lack of confidence is gone, and she's really tearing up the left flank now, Amy Medwin. From a performance, I don't think she likes playing centre-back too much. Changes for South Melbourne. Jana Lawson makes way, so does Lucy Johnson. Coming on, Miriam and Vari. Lovely work from Jennifer Lum. Well, she's absolutely electric when she's surrounded by defenders. It's when Jennifer Lum comes to life. We saw it in the first half with how she won the penalty, and she almost jinked her way past the South Melbourne defence again. Beaten away at the near post by Barbieri. One stayed in play long enough for South to head it away at the near stick. Spare ball being called for, but not needed in the end. Stamatopoulos presenting short. Hull goes to the back post. Binning was arriving, but not fast enough. So the substitutes for South Melbourne coming on, Miriam Anvari and Julia Budiongo. Numbers 13 and 15 respectively. Barbieri, coolly done by the 41-year-old veteran. Medwin, nice one too. Bit of a shirt pull there, and she won't get away with it. Caitlin Story has dropped quite deep in this half. Haven't seen as much of her in the forward areas as we're used to. Hull slams it forward, but straight to Jenna McCormick. Martineau for Omia. Always presenting for the ball, the Japanese number 14. It's been a joy to watch this half. She's been able to escape the Alamein press and really dictate the pace of this game. Medwin for Goff. Gives Budiongo something to chase. And she's got fresh legs to chase it with. Jamila Hull standing her ground. She's been really impressive this evening. Very consistent and determined. As well as her set-piece deliveries, which have always hit the right areas. Omia winning the ball back. Goff knew she was offside. Couldn't get involved. Another game coming up this evening at Lakeside in this double header. The senior women in action now and look set to wrap up another 3 points at the top of the table. The men will be looking to do the same. They've just dropped off the peak in the last couple of weeks. Beautiful ball from Melina Ayres. In the men's, kicking off at 7. We'll see a big Greek derby here between South Melbourne, of course, the home side, and the in-form team in the league, the Bentley Greens. With their attacking firepower, they took the Melbourne Knights apart last week. Looking forward to seeing what they can do in the later kickoff. It's coming up on the NPL Victoria Facebook page as opposed to NPLW Victoria. Three minutes remaining in this one. Haffenden for Stamatopoulos. Amir went down, and the referee, a little charitably, I must say, rewarding her with a free kick. And a final change here. Jennifer Lum has played brilliantly today, but she's given all that she could give. She earns a well-deserved rest. As number 17, Emily Harbus takes her place. Medwin. Goff. Martineau. Another player who's come alive since being permitted to feature in her preferred position. Speaking of which, here's Medwin, who's relishing that left-back role and getting forward at every opportunity, and she tried to bully her way past a number of challenges there. I think it was Lantieri Bartley who made the decisive one. Medwin. And Vari couldn't keep it in. Haratzis Coming perilously close to a handball, but getting away with it. Here's Miriam Anvari threading it through. And now a real chance here for South to score their fourth. Rachel Binning in the way of Julia Budiongo. She's in again here, but spoons that one over the crossbar after the good work of Melina Ayres down the right-hand side. Short goal kick for Lantieri Bartley. Harbours for Paraskevas. Goff wanted amidst the crowd, and it's Martineau. For Catherine Goff, the substitute. Bursting past and striking herself, and it's a good save by Mason Jones. An enterprising run from Catherine Goff from left to right. Martineau couldn't get it under control. Omia. Goff. Corner kick for South. Bit unlucky for Annabelle Haffenden there. Couldn't really do much else and was sort of pushed into the ball. We're into stoppage time. At the moment, South look more likely to score a fourth than Alamein looked to pull one back. And it's McCormick's header. She was free and clear, but headed it wide of the far post. So a few chances to score on debut today. And now a turnover from the usually brilliant Hull. Melina Ayres letting it run out for the throw. Budiongo. Anvari. And that's it. Here at Lakeside Stadium, it looked like an upset in the first half, but in the end, it went to script. And the league leaders, South Melbourne, showed why they are atop the table after their 7th game of the season. It's irrelevant what Calder, NTC or Bulleen Lions do today, because South Melbourne will maintain that top spot. The only question is, have they extended their lead? And they've done it in style in the second 45. Riona Amir made up for her mistake by scoring a much-needed equaliser late in the first half. But goals from Caitlin Pickett off a glorious Amir assist. And finally, Lucy Johnson wrapped up the 3 points for South Melbourne. They are a powerhouse in this division. They've got a star-studded squad, and they are looking for the title. Alamein were gallant in defeat. They pressed hard, they worked hard, but in the end they ran out of steam and coughed up the lead they worked so hard to obtain. Final score